Good morning, everyone. So this day I want to share you the story entitled of The Miller's Tale. So who is the author of this story? So the author of this story is Geoffrey Chaucer. So who is Geoffrey Chaucer? So Geoffrey Chaucer he was an English poet and author. He widely considered as the greatest English poet of the Middle Ages, and he has been called the father of English literature. And next is the characters. Who are the characters of this story and what are their characterization? So first we have John, second we have Alison, third we have Nicholas, and the last one we have Absalom. And their characterization: John, a rich carpenter, an old man, he is the husband of Alison, who loves his more than his own life. The second one is Alison, the happy and young wife of John, who has an affair with Nicholas. Third is Nicholas, the secret lover of Alison, a student at Oxford, John's back. And the last one, Absalom, a merry forest clerk who spends his time trying to win the heart of Alison. Next is the plot of the story. So, a rich carpenter who lives in Oxford named John is married to a young, pretty woman named Alison. They have a lodger in their house who is clerk or student of the University of Oxford named Nicholas. The carpenter had recently wedded a wife, only 18 years old, who is protected firstly because as she was young and he old, he knew he might well be coupled dead. One day, while the carpenter was at Osney, Nicholas fell to playing and teasing with his young wife, Alison, and caught her by the fancy, telling her that he died for love of her and holding her hard by the hip bones. She sprang away from him, refusing to kiss him, but he followed her, crying mercy and speaking fairly, and eventually she agreed to sleep with him. However, Alison worried as her husband was so jealous and protective. It would be difficult to find an opportunity. Nicholas resolved to beguile his master, and the two agreed to wait for an opportunity. So, so John, which is the old man, is married to Alison, which is the young lady, and Alison, it's Alison, which is she in love to another guy, which is Nicholas. And Nicholas is not alone in desiring Alison. A merry vain forest clerk named Absalom also fancies Alison. He serenades her every night, buys her gifts, and gives her money, but to no avail. Alison loves Nicholas. Nicholas devises a plan that will allow him and Alison to spend an entire night together. He has Alison tell John that Nicholas is ill. John sends a servant to check on his boarder, who arrives to find Nicholas immobile, staring at the ceiling. When the servant reports back to John, John is not surprised, saying that the madness is what one gets for inquiring into Goddess forbid, which is what he believes Nicholas' astronomy studies amount to. Nevertheless, he feels sorry for the student and goes to check on him. The and what I said earlier, that Alison is in love with Nicholas, and Nicholas which is in love with Alison. Even Nicholas knows that Alison is married to John, but he continues loving of Alison. And it's not only Nicholas in love with Alison, but there's an only guy who named Absalom, which is a Mary Paris clerk, which in love to Alison. Mm. Nicholas tells John he has a vision from God and offers to tell John about it. He explains that he has foreseen a terrible event. The next Monday, waters twice as great as Noah's flood will cover the land, exterminating all life. The carpenter believed him and fears for his wife, just what Nicholas had hoped would occur. Nicholas instructs John to fasten 3 tubes, each loaded with provisions and axe. Nicholas into the roof of the barn. On Monday night, they will sleep in the tubes, so that when the flood comes, they can release the tubes, hack through the roof, and float until the water subsides. Nicholas also warns John that it is God's commandment that they may do nothing but pray once they are in the tubes. No one is to speak a word. So Nicholas is a student of an astronomy, and he to, he told to John that that he dreamt about the what that about the flood. There's a flood coming, which is mas kuyaw o mas dako pa siya sa Noah's flood, and he instruct to John that they will make a 3 tubes, so that when the flood is come, they will cut only the tubes so that they can float only in the water. And John believed, and he believed Nicholas, so that's why he make a 3 tubes which he put in the roof, and they bring their things, their foods in the roof. Monday night arrives Nicholas. John and Allison ascend the ladder into the hanging tube. As soon as the carpenters began to snore, Nicholas and Allison climb down, run back to the house, and sleep together in the carpenter's bed. In the early dawn, Absalom passes by, hoping to stop in for a kiss or perhaps more from Allison. Absalom settles up to the window and calls to her. She harshly replies that she loves another. Absalom persists, and Allison offers him one quick kiss in the dark. So on the Monday night arrives, so John, Nicholas, and Allison, they climb up to the roof, and they hang up to the tubes, and while Allison and Nicholas, they only ilarang gi bantayan or ilarang gi panid-an si John nga makatug. Then the time comes that John is sleeping and he snores. So Nicholas and Allison, they climb down and they go to the bed, and they go to the carpenter's bed, and they make a romance, or they make a some what that they make a flirting on the carpenter's bed. Absalom leaps forward eagerly, offering a lingering kiss. But it is not her lips he finds at the window, but her naked earth. She and Nicholas collapse with laughter, while Absalom blindly tries to wipe his mouth. Determined to avenge Allison's prank, Absalom hurries back into town to the blacksmith and obtains a red-hot iron poker. He returns with it to the window and knocks again, asking for a kiss and promising. This time Nicholas, having gotten up to relieve himself on a way, sticks his rear out the window and farts thunderously in Absalom's face. Absalom brands Nicholas' buttocks with the poker. Nicholas leaps up and cries out, "Help! Water! Water!" John, still hanging from the roof, wakes up and assumes Nicholas' cries mean that the flood has come. He grabs the axe, cuts free the tube, and comes crashing to the ground, breaking his arm. The noise and commotion attract many of the townspeople. The carpenter tells the story of the predicted flood, but Nicholas and Allison pretend ignorance, telling everyone that the carpenter is mad. The townspeople laugh that all they receive with their dues, and the miller merely asks that the gods seize the company. So, so in the story of in the Miller's tale, so John he believed to Nicholas that there's will be a flood coming, pero wala di ay to. John and Allison and Nicholas, he lied to John so that they can have a time, so that they can spend together. And and because of the and while Absalom is gusto siya mo kiss ni Allison, then Allison and Nicholas, they also prank Absalom, and Nicholas is gikuanan siya ni Absalom og hot iron poker there in his face. That's the reason why John is waking up, because Nicholas is crying and he shouted that help, help, water, water, and that's why John cut the tubes and he floated into the ground, and his arm is breaking, and because of that happened, here the townspeople they are going to where John, kung asan himutang si John is naadto ang mga tao. Then he told this the story. He told about the flood, that there's will be a flood coming, but the people are laughing to John, and while Allison and Nicholas are what's that, they pretend their ignorance, and they pretend that they didn't know what ug unsay gipangsulti ni John. So next is the settings. So first, the story happened, it's in the Oxford. The story takes place in John's household at Oxford, England, around 1380 medieval times. So the second is the roof. When the Monday arrives, Nicholas, Allison, and John are climbed up to the roof so that no one can see them, sit in them, and wait the flood arrives. So the next is the window. Absalom comes to the window and begs Allison to give him a kiss. Allison instead stuck her naked bath out of the window instead of head. The next is the themes. So in the Miller's Tale highlights the first themes in this is the Christian theme, which allows us to reflect our everyday doings in accordance to the portrait role for each character. And the next is deceitfulness. Nicholas lies to John about the flood he has predicted. Nicholas and Allison go behind John's back and have an affair. And the last one, which is adultery. Allison loves Nicholas despite being married to John, and the two come up with an elaborate plan to have sex with that. So next is the symbolism. So first, Allison and Nicholas symbolizes Adam and Eve. Yeah, it's true. They symbolize Adam and Eve, which also represents ourselves when we already know what is right and wrong, but sometimes we're misguided to do the wrong one. So even Nicholas know that Allison is married to John, but they are continuing flirting each other and they have an affair. So Absalom represents the devil, wherein the lasting or red hot poker. And the last is John represents our dear Lord, who loves us with all his heart. However, we still choose to hurt him with our wrongdoings and haven't tried to escape his love and mercy, because he loved Allison with all his heart, but even Allison is lying to him, but he continue love Allison. And the lesson learned that I've learned in the story, that lust might occur every time, but we will always learn how to control it, and we should always see its consequence ahead of time. So we all know that lust might occur every time, but based on the story, that lust might occur every time, but we will always learn how to control it, so that we can't do mistakes, we need to pretend that. And the next is betrayal and revenge are two negative attitudes that might destroy relationships among one another. Yeah, it's true. Betrayal and revenge is the one reason who can destroy the relationships. And the last is we should know when to trust other people. Yes, we should know, even if it is our friends, or how kung bisag unsa ta kasuod. So we should know when to trust other people. So, and that's could be all. So I hope that you have got learned about what the story of the Miller's Tale. And thank you. Goodbye.